All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to JodabeniTV. Today's another amazing day to get after it. We're gonna be better today than we were yesterday. So I just moved to Baltimore, and most of you guys know I've been in Texas my whole life. So coming to a new city, and the first thing I gotta do is I gotta find the best teams around me. So the first thing I did, I hit up all the USL League 2 teams in Maryland. And out of all the ones I hit up, Christos FC, they actually came first place or second place last year in the USL League 2. So they're 20 minutes away from where I stay at. And I was like, hey, you know what? I want to become one of the best soccer players in the world. So I'm going to stay close as possible to the teams that are the best. So I hit him up immediately. So this is what it looks like for the street of Baltimore. It's pretty chill. I'm not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. But I just got some coffee. I mean, is this coffee? What is it? Tea. What type of tea? Matcha. Matcha. It's nothing like having tea from coffee like a black man. So I've started training with Christos FC already. I'm sorry I couldn't get you guys how my trial information was. They're really nice to me, and they let me come out for some training. They were nice enough to let me train the whole summer with them. Yes, I'm not gonna be going back to college in the fall, thank God. But currently I'm working as an electrical engineer. Get off work, go to the gym, and go straight to training. So I'm gonna bring you guys with me today. I know y'all miss the baby. Yeah, she is still with me. Beautiful. I'm in the gym now, and I'm here working out with my workout partner, Ian. And we usually work out here for an hour, and then I go straight to training. So I'm going to be playing with Christos FC this fall, and they play in the MSSL League, and they also play in the US Open Cup. And that's great because, as you know, there's pro teams that play in the USL Open Cup. So the higher you climb, it opens up the teams you get to play with. And then, ultimately it can open up who watches you, what coaches see you, and in the long term, you gain more experience.
It sounds like the beginning of a 30 for 30. What if I told you a soccer team sponsored by a liquor store that didn't practice or scout their opponents had the chance to beat a team that won a title? Christos FC, that's for Christos Discount Liquors in Glen Burnie, Maryland, hon. They took on DC United tonight in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup, who they start essentially whoever can get off of work. They all got off work for this one, I think, and here they are. Oh, it's a Golazo. It's Mamadou Kansé. And this is the celebration. They led, and then they didn't. DC United with 4 unanswered, but for a time, it was a hell of a story.
Because once you get out of Division I soccer or any of the other NCAA leagues, it's hard to get very good competitive, right? You can get some of it in the UPSL, and I believe Christos play in the UPSL as well. So a lot of us, we're going to be playing we're just going to be rotating through teams with games. And there's a lot of games this fall. And that's where I'm going to be for the rest of this, my stay in Maryland, most likely. So the biggest takeaway, you want to try to find the best teams close to you so that you can continue to improve. I could have easily picked any Sunday League team to join and just play with them as much as possible, but I needed an organized and an effective method to actually improve. And you only improve by playing with better players. So if you're somewhere, even if you move to a new town or a new city and you're trying to continue training, be sure you're getting on those teams that are going to make you better, guaranteed, right? Find teams that, you know, even if you're not qualified for them, but if they let you stay and hang around, you're going to improve, and eventually you're going to be on par. And if not, you'll be close to it. So to enlist, I had to take a flight and go from Baltimore all the way back to Houston to enlist. I'm in the Uber now, headed to MEPS. This is the building where you enlist. Downtown, as you guys can see, because I just flew down straight from Maryland, so I can enlist through Texas National Guard. The recruiter had an Uber sent for me, which was really cool. And now I'm here all the way in downtown, and I'm about to go in. And the enlist is actually closed, so I gotta go to the next one so I can get in. I know you're thinking, man, I did not expect this dude to enlist. But yeah, I enlisted into Army National Guard Reserves. So I'm still going to be able to continue training and stick with my daily schedule. But once a month, I'll be going to drill. And I guess if we ever go to World War III, then I gotta go full time.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. Attention! Raise your right hand. I state your name. I, JodabeniTV, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the state of Texas against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the Governor of Texas and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations and the uniform code of military justice. So help me God. Lower your hands.
So we just officially enlisted now. I'm officially a U.S. Army National Guard. What is it, attendee? Or Texas Army National Guard. Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. So I just enlisted into the Army National Guard. And some of you, if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, hey, I've been thinking about it, I want to join in. Or you're just another person who's like, oh, you just wasted your life to do that decision. Well, anyways, I want to put it into perspective and how I view it and how or why I decided to join. So this is straight raw. Currently, I'm at the charging station. My charger just finished. So let me unlock the port. Okay. So, you know, I graduated from college in the fall of 2022. Sorry about that. I accidentally dropped it, but it got some mud on it now. I'm sorry for the next person who uses that. So I graduated from college in the fall of 2022. 2023 comes around and I'm working as an electrical engineer, finally putting my degree into good use. Now, you may say, hey man, you're working as an engineer. Maybe the military isn't something for you. Well, I beg to differ. If you've spoken to anybody in the engineering or the tech world and they do serve in the military, companies treat you nice, right? They're very supportive for those who are in the military. Now, for me, personally, coming out of college, I had $19,500 worth of student loans. I grew up in Texas. I went to college in Texas, UTRGV. I went to college in Texas, and then I moved all the way to Baltimore to work. Now, if you don't understand the living expenses comparing Texas and Baltimore is it's significantly higher. After taxes in Maryland, if I was making the same in Texas, I would walk away with about $7,000 more. But being in Maryland, in Baltimore, I lose that. So suddenly, it became like I was living paycheck to paycheck. Hey, I'm gonna get this. And mind you, before going to the military, to get my diploma to send to all these schools, my university was like, hey, you gotta pay off any fees you have. So I had to swipe my credit card for $8,000. Thank God that I had built my credit to $13,000, my credit limit to $13,000, where I was able to swipe for $8,000. Now, I'm not a big supporter of bad debt, which is like with credit cards. But when desperate times calls for desperate measures, you got to do what you got to do. So I went ahead and I swiped for that $8,000 credit card payment to get my transcript, and I was able to send it to jobs, which helped me land my first job. Now, fast forward, I'm working for my company. I'm making, I guess, good enough, right? I'm hovering around at the end of the year, I'm going to be over the $100,000 mark, right? But that doesn't count into the expenses of, oh my goodness, it's getting hot. Oh, let me turn on this AC. Y'all can see me sweating? Man, what am I doing to myself? Okay. Sorry if you guys can hear it. Let me lower the wind so you know, let me lower it. Okay. Why is it so loud? All right, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. So it almost felt like I was living paycheck to paycheck. I'd get paid, I'd take out my 401k, and I'm kind of like, since I graduated college late, I have to put a little bit more into my 401k to try to make up for the lost time versus everybody else. Now, you make those payments. Now I know I have $19,000 worth of student loans that I have to pay off. And while we're still on that loan break, loan forgiveness didn't happen. So while we're still on that break, I'm trying to like lower the amount of loan I can, so once payments start in September, hey, I can benefit from that. But time goes on, feels like I'm living paycheck to paycheck, because at the end of the pay period, at the end of the month, you know, I paid off my rent. I paid off my 401k for both checks. I pay off $500 each check to take off from my credit card. And then I gotta pay off my student loans on top of that. And that's besides the car insurance stuff, utilities, you know, you may get a flat tire here and there. So suddenly, I wasn't winning at the end of the month. I did not have enough money left over to afford putting enough money into the stock market. So I'm literally, it feels like I graduated college. Now I'm in this loan melting period where I'm not really gaining much into the world besides my 401k, but just erasing everything. And it felt like I was stuck. Then one of my younger brother, he's in the Army National Guard as well, and he was telling me about, you know, when it comes to the loan. And yeah, I went to the recruiter. They signed off my $19,000 student loans, and it's not gonna get erased immediately, but they remove it in increments throughout your military contract. And I'm doing reserves because some people want to do active so they can travel, but my mom worked for United and I got to fly for free plenty of time, so I'm not too worried about traveling. So I was like, hey, I'll do reserve, I'll keep working in the engineering field, getting better, but at the same time I'm going into the military for a field that's related to tech. And although I got my electrical engineering degree outside in this real world, whatever I do in my current job in the civilian world, I don't want to do that in the military. I want to diversify my skills. So I went into tech area. I'm not going to announce it yet because I still have to do all those things. And I don't want anybody out there to jinx it. So I got in one of the tech fields that's going to be beneficial to my career in the civilian world and in the military world. And who knows, if everything goes well, I may stay in there for many years. So number one reason that really stood out was they're gonna take away the $19,000, right? I won't have to worry about that ever again. And like, there's so much I'm going to be gaining by being part of the armed service, part of the U.S. Army. There's so much to learn. There's so much knowledge, skills. I'm going in as a specialist. So 09 Sierra, I'm going to be an officer. Most people, when they go in, they go as recruits, but I'm going to come in as an E4 and work through boot camp, go to OCS, and turn into an officer, 01 or 02, I believe it's called. I'm so new to the military, so anybody in there, don't roast me, please. Like, I'm so new to this. I'm extremely fit. You know, I play college soccer. I'm still at my peak performance levels, so boot camp won't be something that's scary to me. I'm ready to go in and tackle it and come out with a dub. So these are the reasons why I did it, right? And you get military discounts on a lot of things. And, you know, some people who don't have college degrees, just having a military background can put you right next to those guys with college degrees, because you want to put yourself ahead of anybody as much as you can, and it turns you into something greater. On that note, let me know what made you guys join or not join. I'm very curious to hear other perspectives, because I am an open book. I've already signed up, so regardless, I'm in. But I want to, maybe what you say could either influence others or change their mind in the comment section down below. And hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're new, and I'll keep you guys updated. Jodabeni is out.
Oh baby, you might just make me go crazy. Thinking about you like all day. I'ma need you like always.